Dandy's World Christmas event is coming to a close, but that leaves one question on everyone's mind. What's coming to Dandy's World in 2026? Today I'm going to rattle off things that are coming, things that players want, and things that I expect. Let's get into it. In truth, there is a lot of things that we can 100% expect to come in 2026. 3 things to be exact. We can expect the Easter event to come back, the Halloween event to come back, as well as the Christmas event to come back as well. However, instead of just rattling off 3 obvious things that are going to be coming back to the game, I wanted to go a little bit deeper. So yes, Easter, Christmas, and Halloween are 3 things that are confirmed to come. I want to talk about the 4th thing, something that players want. And that's going to be new event floors. So as you guys know, the Dandy's World Christmas event brought us the door event, covers the floor of maps and the ice, making movement harder to control. It works the same as an Iker leak and as a blackout, where it's something that randomly comes in during the game. You guys already know this. When Iced Over is active, the map's floor will be covered in ice, making moving around harder and turning much lower, like other floor events. Ice Over cannot occur before floor 3, and upon passing floor 3, the chance of an ice over floor occurring starts at 5, increases by 2, and caps out at 30. However, this floor event cannot occur outside of the Christmas event. So with that being said, something that we want is to get a new event floor for the Halloween and Christmas event that's also exclusive to those seasons, that makes those seasons more fun and exciting to look forward to. And fortunately enough, I've actually already talked about this before. I've actually talked about it recently. Blue Buoy made her own event main floors for the game. So here's what a theoretical new floor event for Easter and Halloween could look like. So the one that they have for Halloween is called the Ghostly Fog. I'm not gonna go too deep into this right now because there's so many other topics that I want to hit for this video, but if you want to check out the rest of these in depth, please go check it out in the description. So moving on from that, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and pull out our handy dandy calendars. And the reason we're pulling out our calendars is after January, what do you notice on the calendar? That's right, you see February. February comes after January. And do you know what's in February? Something that's become a big hot commodity inside of the Dandy's World community. Coming in at number 5 on this list, we have the Valentine's Day event. That is the one thing that's super exciting that's been on everyone's minds recently, that everyone is talking about, getting hyped about. It's freaking Valentine's Day. And it's been 4 months since we've gotten a new character. By the time Valentine's Day rolls around, it will have been 5. You are staring at the newest edition of the Dandy's World characters. It's been that long. And as little as Quell has insinuated that there's just going to be something this year in a Valentine's Day event isn't confirmed, I am so confident that there's going to at least least one Valentine's Day main, or at least holiday tune. I'm literally, I would put so much money on it. It makes too much sense, man. And I'll be honest, I will be so honest, if it doesn't come, disappointment will actually be unmeasurable. I made a whole video about this the other day, so I won't get too deep into it now, but here's just a tiny bit of what it could possibly look like. You guys want Valentine's stuff. Yeah. Lonely Skeleton Man wants to look at Valentine's stuff. Shut up. And you guys think I like to look too deeply into stuff? Check this out. Kersey says, who is a Twitter moderator, says, hey, so does that mean we could possibly get a mini Valentine's event? Please imagine Valentine skins. And it's replying to the Discord message that Quell said that I replied to. I also want to say I saw a tweet a while ago that said, Quell says Valentine's update is not confirmed. Someone literally replied to it and said, confirm it then. I just thought that was funny. Someone else replied to that same thing saying, everyone hold my hand and we will summon the Dandy's World Valentine's Day event, right? Everyone wants the Valentine's Day event. So let's go ahead and look at what some of these things are speculate. Yeah. All right, this is by Joey is Here. Oh, we got, okay, QB, who looks to be a stealthy, pretty average character, actually. Cupid the Cupid. As a Valentine's Day tune, Cupid is always cheerful and happy. She tries to make others happy, like her, but it can backfire sometimes. But she will always be there for everyone. Icon. So she requires 2,000 hearts, so that's what we're theorizing the event currency is going to be. Maybe 3 master requests on Shrimpo. Okay, interesting. I'll explain later on how to get hearts. I'm guessing currency, right? Her ability is called Cupid Shot. We'll give the targeted tune a protection shield that serves as a bonus heart, can only use every 5 floors, and will cost 2 hearts to activate. Holy smokes. So she basically is going to sacrifice 2 of her own hearts to protect someone once. It's a net loss. Really good for distractors. Wait a minute. That is really good in a really weird way. Lazy example, sorry. Yeah. That's actually this is so freaking good. Holy crap. And wait, it's a new rarity. New rarity unlocked, epic! When this Twisted sees you, she can shoot one of her arrows at you, which will cause a slow debuff that lasts for 12 seconds, or a blessing arrow that has stamina regen effect for 12 seconds. Be careful though, it has a chance of 10% to be shot one blessing arrow. Wait, what? Oh, okay, so like, she rarely actually gives you good stuff. And then here's a trinket where it increases your stamina by 25%. And here's some bonus stuff. That was so freaking good. Holy crap. We also have a post by Sharks who says, if Danny's World had a Valentine's Day update, and it looks like they literally remade the entire Danny's World map, which is freaking insane. Oh my gosh. Was that Flutter the shop? Yo, that's so cool. That's so cool. Obviously, it would be a new character if they had a whole-on event, but... Oh, and they have a love letter curtains. Man, so cool. And we also have somebody doing a fake Danish World Valentine's event, Rosie, where the event main is this character. Oh my god! Valentine's main? Is this real? It's not real. It's not real, but it is something that players want to see. Coming in at number 6 is definitely more of a quality of life update, but still something that I've brought up before that players inherently still want. And that would be more communication through your teammates that don't cannibalize other tunes / other abilities that already exist in the game. This is a super good and interesting thing that I would love to see added into the game, and it would look something like this. So currently in Danny's World, when you're playing the game, the only way you know information about your teammates is when you hover over them. For example, if I'm just hanging out in the normal lobby of a Danny's World server, if I turn on loadouts, when I hover over tunes, I can see what trinkets they're using. That's the only thing in-game. And when you're in-game, same thing. When you hover over them, you can see how many hearts someone has. But that's actually it. However, one of the games Danny's World takes inspiration from is a game called Dead by Daylight. And as you can see right here in the game, they have this system on the left side of your screen, right? So there's this system in the game that slowly eliminates players. That lets you know when someone's on a hook, and it shows you their time limits. Basically, either way, all you gotta know is this gives you information about your teammates. If they're being chased, which would be very useful in Danny's World if you could see if someone was being chased. Are you kidding me? Or if someone was hurt and you had an ability like, I don't know, Sprout, where you could see that they are injured on the left side of the screen. How freaking fire would that be? It could also show, and like it does in Dead by Daylight, who's currently working on a machine. How actually cool would that be? Well, today we can theorize about it all that we want. However, someone actually made what this UGI would look like. Striking rhubarb. I just want to say, dude, fire idea. I feel like Danny's World should let you have more information about your teammate's status in game. And the screenshot they share is, oh my god, it look. I love game optimizations like this. You know, Quell and Danny's World loves quality of life updates. This is the freaking one, dude. The immediate counter argument to this, right, is if you can see someone else's hearts. Guys, should I be scared? I don't have permission to join my own Danny's World server. We're good. But the immediate pushback is Sprout, right? Where this tune can see where all other alive tunes are, along with their current health status. A lot of people would be like, okay, but doesn't that make overprotective useless? Well, no. Because simply put, when you're playing as Sprout and you see the other tunes highlighted, naturally, you would just give Sprout more information. For example, if it's a 3-heart tune and they're hit once, their aura would be yellow. Or if they're a main or they're on 1-hit territory, anyone that being, they would be red. You know, there's constant workarounds to this, yeah? Guys, I haven't had a video like this in a while. I'm having so much fun. Something that I didn't even consider or think about is seeing how soon their ability is to popping. So instead of saying, I need healing, I need healing, I need healing, like Genji from Overwatch, you can literally see how long it's going to take for your Cosmo to heal you. Or you can find out if your teammates are dirty little liars. Hey, Shelly, use your ability on me. I can. It's on cooldown. Lies. I feel like this is such a simple concept, but it'd be super useful and fix some of the issues with public runs, especially since Danny's World is teamwork-based game. It'd make public runs at least a bit more bearable. Also, you might be wondering what would happen to Sprout's I didn't even know that they talked about it. Instead of tracking Toon's health, he could track tapes instead, which, wow, That might be better than my idea. That's better than my idea. Dude, this guy, you know what? I've never, that's my second time I've followed someone on Reddit. This guy deserves it. I think this is actually the best idea I've ever seen in the game. And I'm not saying that as a content creator. Like, this is actually so good. Moving back to things that we should expect in the game. Let's talk about the fact that the tutorial still hasn't been added to the game. So, this is literally confirmed. The tutorial is an upcoming feature that will help new players learn how to play the game before going into online games. Once you complete the tutorial, you will be rewarded a Roblox badge. It is unknown how the tutorial will work, but is confirmed to be most likely released after full release. It will most likely introduce a player on how to do a machine, evade twisteds, teach about research capsules and tape collection, etc. Something that players want / expect to see in Danny's World is not only the tutorial, but Danny's World to go from alpha to beta. It is, once again, a pretty controversial topic in the Danny's World community, in the sense that players don't understand how it's still an alpha, and it's a completely valid question to bring up, but, you know, I hope it goes from alpha to beta. Do you want to know why I actually really want it to go from alpha to beta? It is literally for one reason, and you'll feel the same way after I explain it to you. When we go to Danny's World, it has two, okay? But they're really ominous, okay? So one, you get by completing and enjoying Danny's World for the first time. So everyone gets that one. But this is the one that really pulls people in. Alpha player. Now, this badge is quite ominous. For two reasons. You earn this badge by playing Danny's World during its alpha release. Well, you see, my friends, Danny's World's been in its alpha stage for, hey, look at that guy, has been out in its alpha stage for consecutively a year now. Why did I say consecutively? And yet, it's still in its alpha stage, which makes a lot of people shake their head. But I'm not disagreeing. Regardless, though, this badge will give you a reward in the future when Danny's World enters full release. And if you're anything like me, that raises two questions. The first one being, well, when's the alpha gonna end? When am I gonna get my reward? And the second one being, what is going to be the reward? No one knows. I want to know. I'm actually begging on my hands and knees to know. But the good news is, haha, I have a secret. I was lucky enough to stumble upon this post that definitely didn't inspire this video idea at all. What do you think this reward would be? Why is no one talking about this? And besides for the video that I made literally talking about badges right there, besides that one, I agree, this hasn't been brought up in months. So my little dirty secret is, I'm just gonna trust what people say. Whatever they say goes. That's what it's gonna be. It could be an elephant. It could be a box of chocolates. It could even be your mother. I really hope it's your mom. Small Green Fox says, probably just some skins, Iker, or some other stuff. I mean, skins would be a really cool reward for being in the alpha. Me and the other 3.7 billion. I don't think they're gonna give a trinket or a tune. It seems unfair to newer players. I don't think, yeah, that's probably true. This guy thinks it's gonna make Dandy playable. That would be insane. Or maybe like a Dandy skin morph. I don't know. That's kind of stupid. Another thing that I've talked about a lot on this channel that players want is, yes, there's a big gap between what two events, guys? Easter and Halloween. And what comes in perfectly right between the middle of those two? That's right, summer. Players really want a summer event, honestly, to a point where some people are expecting it. I've already talked about this as well quite a bit on this channel, so once again, I'm just gonna add a small bit of what I've talked about the summer in the past. The thing that everyone was so excited for. When's it coming? When's it happening? We'll talk about that. But first, let's go ahead and look at some of the concepts people had for the summer event. Front-facing Sketchy made his OC called the Coral the Popsicle, which definitely is going to be the normal tune of the bunch, with his ability, Sweet Tooth. This tune eats a treat, granting her a 150% increase in a random stat for 5 seconds, has a cooldown of 40 seconds, which is a pretty standard normal tune. I mean, at this point, common, uncommon, rare, and then main tune. Or rather, twisted, new map, and event currency. That seems to be the structure of how all these updates are gonna go. So let me guess, there's gonna be a rare tune next? Yes, exactly. And I know the fatigue is starting to affect some people. A lot of people are wanting something new. The floor variants that were teased in the past, which is really what people are wanting to see. And I think what they're hoping for to happen in one of these updates soon. I don't think I have the screenshot anymore, but Quo did in the past confirm that she was gonna add new floor variants. So with that being said, we're going to look at floor variety. And this was made by Deco Leco Hecko, who is an absolute goat on the Reddit. So floor variety will include new mechanics that may give players more challenges and dangers to face, or new exploratory opportunities to introduce game's lore. Some of these floors may appear based by chance, by number of floors a player had passed, or by special situations based on the player's actions and interaction towards a specific floor. An example of what one of these floors would look like is a hazardous floor that consists of little to no twists within the floors. However, as the name suggests, will be littered with hazards and traps that may have the potential to harm an unsuspecting toon if not careful. These floors have smaller chance of spawning compared to default floors. These floors and hazards may consist of spells of Iker and bear traps. I wonder who laid those there, and so on and so forth. And I could go through all these floor varieties. This could be a whole video in and of itself. But something, once again, that players want pretty bad, and I think they don't realize how bad they want it. The one thing that was added, in my opinion, that truly kind of re-sparked the game when I thought it was literally going to die was, in fact, the addition of Dial. I truly believe that adding Dial and his event floor to the game completely re-sparked the love that everyone has for Danish World. It brought new players in, and it got people back. Like, literally, whenever this update came out, I got so many Discord messages of people that came back to the game. That were like, literally like, I came back to play against Dial. I came back to play against Dial. And it's just been like a fan favorite feature of the game. You know, it's been, shoot, 6 months since 6. Yeah, I'm literally not kidding. 6 months, Dial and Brusha came into the game. Literally, I think Danish World's still in a pretty good place right now. But if you just sprinkled in another lethal into the game, or even just another boss, like, I don't know how you could implement in canon a new lethal without them being a shop owner. I don't know how you would do that, but I want it. I want it. Players want it really bad, and that is, like, in my opinion, the heartbeat of Danish World at a nutshell. You know, players are quitting because of basic gameplay mechanic. That is one of the most simplest and easiest ways to break it, similar to the events like the ice overfloors. That's why people want it, you know? At this point in the video, I actually don't know how many things that I've said that are expected, players want, things that are I don't know what number I'm at. It literally could be 13, it could be 16, but in complete truth and in complete earnesty, the only thing that I think players want more than any other is, unfortunately, something that they can't have. And I truly believe that a lot of players want the nostalgia of their first time playing Danish World again. I truly believe that so many players wish and want to go back to the earlier days. Players are now chasing, in my opinion, a feeling of nostalgia, you know, because I've been reading a lot about how some players are quitting, Danish World's getting boring, Danish World needs to do this, Danish World's gotten old, Danish World's gotten boring, blah, 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 you know, the same thing said in different ways. And truly, I believe that it's coming from a good place, a place of passion, where these players, they just miss that old feeling that they have. And, you know, I've been through this game, or this feeling, several times with several different games throughout my life. The only difference is now is they happen to be my job, right? So yes, when I make up these lists, it is in two ways. One, in a palpable way that I think is entertaining, and the other part being the gamer inside of me that genuinely enjoys gaming. Right. And when you play something for so long, and as long as I have, sometimes you become a little bit blind. And I think I've been a bit blind recently. Didn't mean to get deep in this top 10 list, but I think that's kind of just what I do these days. There is so many things that I missed in this video. I literally didn't even get into lore. This could easily be a part 2 list, but I think these are the hard-hitting topics. Comment down below what you would like to see. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys all again tomorrow. Maybe. I'm running out of video ideas.